As you can see, I've got a bunch of stuff here I need to resort and put away. It's a lot of electronic gear that's sort of getting moved, transitioned out, and needs to just kind of be baled up and probably stored for a year or so. Use it as backups, and then something like a digital camera. We're going to use the digital camera, we're going to replace the digital camera, and eventually we'll replace it. So I keep that digital camera, the last one in the series, as a backup. Anyway, I'm looking for a place to put that kind of stuff, and I dug through and I found this bag in the closet. Thought I would do a bit of a review on it. This was a giveaway at a event that we attended a while back, a few years ago, and comes from one of the big box stores, and it's sort of a, I don't know what to call it. I guess you'd call it I don't want to call it a range bag. I hesitate to call it a hunting bag, so I'm going to call it a hunting style duffel bag, because it's really a lightweight, light duty, but about a medium size, I'd say. But it's got a lot of neat features, so I figured it might be interesting for a video. Honestly, I don't know if they're for sale anymore. It's from one of the big outdoor stores. Maybe it is, but I'm sure if it isn't, there's something comparable out there now. So I just thought I'd show some of the things I thought were clever on it. First off, it is light duty. Most of it is this really thin nylon material with really flimsy clasps and kind of cheap pulls and stuff. But it's enough. It's not just going to literally fall apart in the rain, so it's good for light duty. Looking on the outside, we've got lots of little pockets and places, organization type of stuff, and some of it's kind of neat. Like this sunglass or eyeglass case is sort of hard. It's a harder material, and I thought that was pretty clever. Make for shooting glasses maybe, or just sunglasses. You've got a longer one here, which would be good for a length of rope, or maybe a flashlight or something in that respect. Perhaps even a fold-up umbrella, actually. On the back, you're basically just looking at one long pocket, and then the handle, but nothing else on the back. Let's go to the other side right away. On the other end, I guess, we've got a mesh pocket, which I suspect would be for like a small water bottle or something like that, or a soda bottle. I guess a can could fit in here, but it would probably be tough to remove it. Got a longer pouch here, maybe for a flashlight, again maybe for an umbrella or something like that. This is a padded case, which I think would be great for like maybe a camera, or perhaps to store a cell phone. We'll get up to the front here. Before we do, I think I'll jump down to the bottom, and it's basically like a heavy material, like a shoe maybe. I noticed that a couple of places when I push on it, the bag is not zippered, but just being closed. There's a little bit of pressure in there. So when I push on it, I'm feeling air. So while it's rubber, it's not waterproof or anything. There's a bunch of breaks in it, and again, it hasn't had any use at all. It's just been really in storage for 2 years, or maybe longer. Anyway, so the bottom originally though could probably be put down definitely on ice, or maybe on a wet street or something, but or put down in the rain. It's definitely not waterproof, but it would definitely be water resistant, as well as easy to clean. The top has these two magnets that sort of hold down the top flap. Right now, I don't know if the top's zippered, but if it was zippered, it would just really hold down this flap. Then the outside pocket here is fairly large. It's got a big organizer in it. I assume that these loops are made for shotgun shells, but again, this is fairly light duty. I don't think you'd ever use this for hunting. Perhaps a trip to the range, but again, I don't know why you'd need to set out 6 shells or whatever. But I think they double real well for flashlights, tools, that kind of thing. There's some mesh pockets here with just a bit of elastic at the top, but not real well sewed or anything, so this wouldn't be hold up to hard use, but something like a boo-boo kit or a simple first aid kit might make a nice organized front here. Do have a little thing here on either side for keys, I guess. And I should mention that the zippers, while they're not super high quality, they do seem to work just fine, and they all have these sort of corded pulls lashed through them, so pretty easy to deal with. Then opening up the main compartment. The reason I have it unopened, I think, is because the zipper kind of broke on me the first time I used it. To be honest though, I did fill this thing with way too many magazines. We were going to an event where a lot of magazines and stuff were given away, and I literally had this thing so full of magazines that it basically broke as I was closing it. So another reason I say again, it's a lightweight item, but We've got a shoulder strap, nothing fancy here, just a nylon strap with a bit of a pad. Something like this. The pad though, it's real hard to screw up a pad, so that could easily be transferred to another piece of gear or something. It's got a insert here in the center with Velcro to cord it off into two pieces, I guess, if depending on what you're doing. Because it's insulated. When you, I don't know how to describe it. When I move my, when I squeeze it here, I can tell that the closed cell padding that they're using to insulate this is also inside of a plastic. You can hear it. So I suspect you could probably use this as a cooler. Fill it with ice, and although it probably wouldn't last too many trips like that, it would probably hold ice nice and cold for a few trips. It does have some netting at the top, and again, I almost stressed this out to its to breakage by putting a couple more magazines up on top there. Then once you zip up the top, like I mentioned, you got these two little magnet pulls, which I find pretty handy because they hold the top closed without needing to zipper it. So if it was something you were going to be accessing quite a bit, then perhaps it would be handy to just have these little magnets here. They keep it closed and keep things from falling into it or falling out of it, but make it real easy to open up and get into. And then lastly on the top there's some shock cord kind of laced through to give you a place for a jacket or again an umbrella or maybe a tripod. I think the design is pretty handy. If this was 1000 Dinner Cordura or something, heavy duty material that could take a licking and keep going, if it was sewed with more than just one stitch everywhere and it was done with a little bit more precision and more care, it'd be a great bag. But as it is, it does probably work for a trip to the beach or just taking the kids out to play. You definitely could give this to a kid and they'd have a lot of fun with it because it's sort of in a camouflage. It's sort of a hunting camouflage, so that's again why I'm not sure what their target is on this. Again, if you took this out as a hunting bag, you'd be disappointed within the first, as you were packing it, let alone getting it out to the hunting area. But again, just as a clever little bag, light use, just something that you want it to look cool and not look like a typical bag. Here's what you could check out. I'm sure, again, if you can't get them in this exact model, you can get them something like it at one of the big outdoor stores or in a catalog online.